Greetings and welcome to another video hosted by yours truly. Today's video will be about the new balance changes that are coming to the game in this December patch and what are my thoughts on them. And before you ask, yes, I know the new clone has been shown and I will be making video on that. So stay tuned for that, and without wasting any more time, let's move on with the video. First off, the Striker Boy gets a 5% HP nerf. In the dev comments, they say, the extinction of the northern shield-hide Aurochs, I don't know what it's called, has forced Striker Boy to manufacture his apron from great hairless yak hide instead, reducing his durability. Striker Boy has high health considering his mana cost and utility, that's true, and this reduction will allow Lumberjacky, Rogue and the Tower Arrows to defeat him with one fewer hits. I still think this Striker Boy will be pretty strong in the meta. The 5% HP nerf won't completely nerf him, but it's a good start. I want to see other like Lumberjacky and Big Smith to come to the big spot. Usually in top ladder, not many people use those clones. People usually just prefer the Striker Boy because it's cheap and it gets the job done. It's fast also, and it just puts too much pressure on the defending side. I didn't want them to reduce his hit force or move speed, so HP nerf is pretty good because even with low HP, the Striker Boy will still be useful. Next, we have a pretty significant buff to the core Tri-Bomb. Its cost is getting reduced from 4 mana to 3 mana. Its mini Tri-Bomb duration, the first stage, the time it takes to evolve from first stage to the second stage, the mid Tri-Bomb, it's getting reduced from 8 seconds to 6 seconds, so it's evolving much faster. And same for mid to big Tri-Bomb, it's going to be reduced from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. And for the big Tri-Bomb, they are increasing the duration it stays on the map from 16 seconds to 20 seconds. So this is a pretty significant buff. The dev comment says the core Tri-Bomb is a difficult clone to use. Agreed, as it takes a long time for the bomb to grow to its full potential. The lifetime of the first two stages are reduced to make the bomb grow faster, and the lifetime of the last stage is increased to keep the same total duration. That makes sense. The mana cost is also reduced to reflect the effort needed to deliver the full damage. So I could say they might have gone overboard with this one, but I kinda like it. I was pretty hyped about the core Tri-Bomb, but after using it, I realized it's not that easy to use, and it's just taking too long to set it up because you have to wait at least 16 seconds for it to become the big Tri-Bomb where you can actually use it and get value out of your investment. But now it's just 3 mana, so even if you manage to get the Tri-Bomb at the second stage, it's still worth it to push the bomb to the enemy tower, because for 3 mana you're getting close to the damage of bouncy bomb, which is good actually. And since they increase the duration of the big Tri-Bomb, you'll have more opportunities for pushing it to the enemy tower. And since the cost is 3 mana, you can actually just keep cycling them. So be prepared for a core Tri-Bomb spam type of deck in the future. I'm pretty sure that would be coming. Next is another buff to Antigravity. They increase the stomp damage of the Antigravity by 13%. They don't have any dev comment on this. I'm not really sure why they did it, because in my mind the Antigravity, you're not gonna use the stomp damage of it anyways. So even if you're increasing it by 13%, it's not gonna deal as much damage. You use it for the utility, and if you ask me, the Antigravity is pretty good on defense. I don't think, like, if they want to buff it, they could increase the gravitational pull force thing. I don't know what it's called. A thing that pulls every clone inside it. They can increase, they can improve that or just make it stronger. But that might make it too broken because it covers the entire tower. So if your opponent can keep cycling the Antigravity, because it's quite cheap, it's just 3 mana. So you might never have the chance to actually deal damage to the tower. So that might be an issue. I'm not really sure about the stomp damage, but a buff is a buff. I'll take it. Next we have a buff to the core freezer. Actually 2 buffs, but if you ask me, it's just 1 buff. They increase the sling distance by 33% and reduce the mana cost from 4 mana to 3 mana. The mana cost reduction is actually a significant buff to the core freezer. The dev comment says, previously core freezer could not be used offensively. You wouldn't want to use the core freezer offensively anyways. It doesn't deal as much damage and you're putting way too much resources on that. But if you after a successful defense, you can push it out to the enemy tower. But having a successful defense with the core freezer is an iffy subject because it's too light. It just gets pushed around pretty easily. Anyways, let's read ahead. As it could only be slung to the player's own side of the field, the increased sling distance and mana reduction will give the chilling clone more offensive utility. I'm not really sure why they want to turn core freezer into an offensive unit rather than being a solid defensive unit. Because the thing is that its ability, the snowstorm, it's really good on defense. Like if you look at it, it just freezes anything that's coming towards you. So that's a quality that you want in a defensive clone. And on top of that, the snowstorm actually negates the arrows. So that's another semi buff to it, the core freezer. So these 2 abilities of the core freezer are really good on defense. It doesn't make sense for you to spend 3 mana on core freezer and then use rocket or snatcher that also costs 3 mana to try and push it to the enemy tower. Why would you do that? The damage is not that strong. It's close to a plane bomb. So I don't understand the sling distance increase. You want to keep the core freezer close to your tower so that you can defend with it, and then once the defense is done, you can use the rocket or anything to push it to the enemy tower. Increasing the sling distance means you can send the core freezer to the enemy side or from your side. But why would you want to do that? Yeah, I'm not getting this. Because the core freezer doesn't deal damage. It only deals it only freezes or slows down enemy troops. So if it freezes something on the enemy's side, how are you supposed to take advantage from that? Because it's not dealing damage to it, and the core freezer is taking damage from the enemy's tower if it's not getting covered from other units. So yeah, I'm not really sure what they're thinking about this. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not really sure about the sling distance increase, but mana cost reduction is really good. I'm not really sure. I would rather have it good on defense than be a hybrid defense offense thing. Next, we have a buff for Wildfire. They add a stomp damage to it. Dev comment says, Antigravity and Wildfire have been rather unpopular choices for defensive clone for a long time. I agree. With the highest stomp damage, experienced brawler can gain a little bit more value out of them when they are deployed. So stomp damage is good, depending on how much stomp damage they are giving it. If it's like 200 or 300, it's kind of negligible. It's not even a buff. It's not gonna boost the use rate of Wildfire if it's just too low of a stomp damage. And on top of that, the main problem with Wildfire is utility. Currently, it's good against Bomb Golem and Magma Golem and all the other high HP ground clones, but you don't need Wildfire to deal with Magma Golem specifically. You can use just Flying Doggos for it, and Striker Boy just gets out of the fire carpet pretty quickly. So it's not gonna do you any good in that regard. Another thing about Wildfire is that the bottle itself doesn't land reliably. Like if there are stuff on the map, then you'll have harder time to land the Wildfire bottle on the ground so that you can spread the fire carpet, and that's a hindrance for it. I'm not really sure about the stomp damage. If it would definitely help, but I don't think it would boost the use rate of Wildfire. It's gonna still stay at the bottom of the barrel. I don't think stomp damage is the way to go with this. The bottle itself is really light. It will bounce around. You would rather have the wildfire set up early so that you won't mess it up and the bottle itself just bounces off the opponent's clone and lands somewhere else where you don't want it to be. You should use the wildfire just directly on the ground, just throw it on the ground and have the enemy killed from the fire. So yeah, the stomp damage is kind of useless in that. Yeah, now that I think about it, the stomp damage is kind of useless for wildfire. Unless they give it like bomb golem level stomp damage, I don't think it would be useful. I would much rather throw the bottle in front of the clone that is coming towards my tower rather than try and use the stomp damage. And the fire carpet itself is not that useful because it doesn't work against fast moving clones, and more often than not you won't be facing any slow moving anybody who's using slow moving clones on higher ladder. Lower ladder people use Big Smith and Jackie and bomb golem. So yeah, at lower level arenas you will have some success with it because there are more targets, there are more people who are using slow moving clones than in higher arena where people are basically prefer either blast clones or striker boy or some things that are pretty fast or not on the ground like Drago. Yeah, those are my thoughts. And finally we have buff to Tornado. The area damage is being increased by 100%, so it basically deals twice the damage as it currently does. Dev comment is, stronger winds are blowing in Badland. Previously, Tornado dealt very small area damage, pretty much negligible, barely enough to defeat a doggo during the tornado's lifetime. Yeah, it's pretty sad that it couldn't even defeat a doggo in its lifetime. Tornado's damage will remain low, but its damage to the lowest health clones will become significant. I mean, I'm fine that they are giving the tornado area damage buff, but nobody uses tornado for the damage. People use the tornado for the utility, for clearing the bridge or stopping the oncoming attack from the opponent's side. I can see why they're doing it because I don't think they want to bring the tornado meta back. And if their boost is a push power or something, or just increase its size, that might make the tornado bit broken. So area damage it is. The damage increase is nice, but other than that, I don't think people would actually use it because there is no purpose of upgrading a tornado. Now, why would you upgrade a tornado? I don't know. It's kind of, I'm really doubtful on this. Not that I'm not happy with the area damage buff, but kind of sad that it might not bring back tornado to be used because right now tornado isn't being used very much. And if they buff it too much, it might bring back the tornado meta from like an year ago, which was pretty bad. So they had to nerf the tornado. So I don't want that tornado meta to come back, but I can see they are trying to build up tornado back to some level of its previous glory, as I could say, so that it would see a bit more usage in the meta, because right now tornado is pretty bad. It doesn't push anything anywhere and it deals pretty much no damage. Even with the area damage buff, I don't think it would deal as much damage, but at the end you use the tornado for the utility mostly, not the damage. And that's about it. That was the entire balance changes to the game. I'm pretty happy that not many clones got nerfed and most clones got buffed, so I think the devs are going for like buffing the things that are not useful rather than nerfing the things that are useful. So that's a pretty good approach for balancing the game, I would say. And that's about it. Those are my thoughts on new balance changes that will be coming on 30th, I think. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong about something or if you agree. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that. It's Creepy93 on Twitter. You can support me on Patreon. The link will be in the description. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Till then, this is Creepy signing out.